seasons. 35 years old. He's finally retiring. We got a video right here playing tribute to my dog DRose. We gonna come back, let you know more about his basically NBA career and what we loved about DRose.
Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league?
And be like, man, he's the biggest what if, blah, blah, blah. You right. What if I didn't get injured? What? I wouldn't have found myself. I still would have been a part of the fucking circus, bro.
To my baby Pooh, you have always had a basketball in your hand ever since the age of 2. As a young man from Inglewood, you fulfilled your dream of entering in the NBA. You are now leaving as a matured man with a beautiful family. You have always loved the game of basketball, and God has a new plan for you. Love you, Mama.
Aw, that was so sweet. But there you have it. Derrick Rose finally retires, man. I remember watching. I remember basically watching high school mixtapes, watching Derrick Rose, and basically I think he was on Simeon. He was in
Yeah, that's right.
He was in Simeon. He was balling. Then he moved from there. He went to Memphis, and then all I remember was he was basically a star dunking on basically a high fly dunking. But then they
did
ended
he
up
lose
losing.
to Mario Chalmers?
Yeah, he lost to Mario Chalmers in Kansas.
Kentucky.
Was it Kentucky or Kansas?
Kansas. No, you're right. It was Kansas.
And
It was the Jayhawks, right?
Yeah, the Jayhawks because they couldn't shoot They couldn't shoot free
Mario
throws.
Chalmers hit that like half court shot, descended to overtime, right?
Yeah, it was a nasty game, but I mean,
He's from Chicago, from the South Side, #1 pick overall, going to the Chicago Bulls.
He's up there with Dick Butkus because Dick Butkus is from Chicago also.
He's way better than Dick Butkus.
I mean, Dick Butkus is a legend also, and he also didn't win a championship either.
But unfortunately, he's like a Penny Hardaway, but a shade better. Because Penny Hardaway was, going all kinds of different levels of high, and then he got injured. He only had a good 3-4 years, and Derrick Rose was the same. And then he had a handful of years where he was still good, but never got back to where he was, and then he kind of fell off to a bench player, and then like a veteran, and then now he's out of the league.
Came back and dropped 50 with Minnesota, right?
Yeah, that was like a random game. He dropped 50 and he cried, and that was a big moment for him, like his first big game since his injury. It was really shameful, man. A lot of people still blame Tom Thibodeau because he said that like
Left him in the game.
Yeah, he left him in the game. They were already up like between like 15 or 20 something, and there's a handful of minutes left in the fourth, and it was in the playoffs, and they let him play, and he did one of his jump stop moves, and it's too much torque, snapped his knee, and he was never the same, man. It was really crazy because I believed in Derrick Rose. His first couple Adidas shoes were cool. After that, they were like whatever, but his first ones were awesome, and he was special, the youngest MVP ever.
Yes,
and I remember him single-handedly, like when he was a rookie going against the Celtics.
Uh-huh.
It might have been the Celtics' first year where they had Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce. And they took them to 7 games in the first round. And it was with Joakim Noah and John Salmons and Ben Gordon and Tyrus Thomas and Kirk Heinrich. Like, that was a really entertaining Chicago Bulls team. Like, they definitely used to go at it. And then Derrick Rose got hurt. And then when he came back, he was still pretty decent. He still averaged, like, over 18 points a game. And so the Bulls were still, like, a top, 4 seed. And but every year they would find a way to lose to LeBron in Cleveland or the Heat. So it was just some tough breaks for DRose. But unfortunately, his career didn't really match up to expectations or his early of his career, but at least, hey, he got to play that long. I don't think Penny played that long after he
Yeah.
got hurt. So that's a blessing in itself. But yeah, I always liked Derrick Rose. Even when he went to the Knicks, I would still play with the Knicks sometimes because it was nice to play with DRose. He was so quick and athletic and could attack the rim. Super crazy athlete, but yeah,
I don't think
happy
anybody.
retirement.
I mean, looking at his 2008 draft class, I don't think there's that many people left still playing in the NBA. I mean, it was him, Michael Beasley. Mike Beasley didn't make it.
He's playing big three. OJ Mayo got kicked out the
You
league.
got Russell. Russell still playing. He's plays for Denver.
Westbrook.
Yeah. Kevin Love. I forgot Kevin Love. Eric Gordon.
It's crazy.
Eric Gordon's still
They
playing.
say that Westbrook and
Brook
DRose
Lopez.
were the two most athletic point guards ever.
Yeah.
And but I would say career-wise, they say DRose, that he may be the only player to win MVP that may not go in the Hall of Fame, or if he does go in the Hall of Fame, it might be a few years, to get in. But I don't know if he's going to make the Hall of Fame, man. It's going to be close because he had a really great start to his career, but then after that, it was honestly a pretty average player, a little bit above average.
Yeah, you gotta get it for the hype. I mean, come on now. And the fact that at least he's gonna get a retirement package. He's gonna be all right.
Oh yeah. He'll still have health care and all that. He'll get the retirement package and all that. But what do you think? Do you think that DRose in his prime before the injury versus Westbrook in his prime, who do you have as a better player? Because you remember at that time, Westbrook wasn't atrocious from three. He actually was half decent, and he was dunking on everyone, getting rebounds and assists, and playing some of the most aggressive defense you've ever seen. While Derrick Rose was attacking everything, he was, using his speed. He didn't really dunk on people half as much. Westbrook definitely dunked on way more people. DRose did still have some legendary dunks, but he only had a handful of dunks. He was a little bit smaller. I think Westbrook, honestly, I feel like DRose had more explosiveness as far as like launching out, but as far as launching up, I think that Westbrook had more explosiveness vertical as far as actually how high he got. I think DRose could travel farther as far as like where his launch point was and how his distance went. Not really compared to Westbrook. Westbrook was a beast, man. He used to dunk on centers all the time like it was no problem. So if I'm going the most athletic point guard of all time based on what they actually did and how many poster dunks, even though DRose had all the fancy layups and a handful of poster dunks, I'm going to say Westbrook is the most athletic point guard of all time.
I'm gonna go with DRose. Only reason because looking at the roster, everybody was too busy worried about Kevin Durant. It was a lot of times that Westbrook had a lot of one-on-one situations, but with the Bulls, you knew it was going to Derrick Rose. You planned for Derrick Rose. If you was double teaming,
Ben Gordon.
Ben Gordon was getting.
Ben Gordon was scoring 30, 35. He was scoring more points than D-Rose.
At that point, I don't know about it. At that point in time,
when they were on the same team,
they had Lou Aldane, Drew Gooden, him, Kurt Heinrich,
Yeah.
Larry Hughes, Lindsey Hunter, Joe Canoa.
Joakim probably averaged like 8 to 12.
Let me see.
Kirk Heinrich probably averaged 8 to 12.
They saying career average. Ben Gordon only averaged 14.9 career.
That's because they hated on him.
Let me see. 08, 09. That's minutes. I don't even. What do you do like
Come on, June.
20 points a game.
Yeah.
20.7.
He was averaging
Then the
like
next
20
one-
points a game, but in the playoffs, Ben Gordon was averaging 30 plus a game.
Probably.
The
Then
man was on fire. Oh, they only played one round, but yeah, he was averaging over 30 points a game against the Celtics.
he went from 20.
He was
then-
going toe to toe with Ray Allen.
Then he went 13. He went from 20 to 13 points a
That's
game.
because they hated on him. He was an undersized two guard, but he could shoot the lights out. I loved his game.
I love Ben Gordon game was nice. Now he all
I
crazy.
still have his jersey.
Now he all crazy attacking landlords and everything. But enough about that, man. Let's say comment down below a great moment from Derrick Rose. Anything you remember about Derrick Rose, one of the greatest point guards to ever